Entrepreneurs are out there solving problems that the world needs us to solve. They're coming up with a solution to a challenge that exists. And that's when the most successful people are those that are creating more important problems. My objective was to be able to help and support as many people as I possibly could, which I think is a really important vision for me. And it's something that I continue to be passionate about every day. And it drives me to continue to come into work every day and continue to push hard and build a team and help more people. Good day and welcome to the Wealthy Entrepreneur Podcast. I am your host, Bob Gauvreau. It is so amazing to have you with me today. And you know what? I want to share a little bit of something I'm proud of today, which is our Wealthy Entrepreneur Program, where we are helping hundreds of entrepreneurs elevate their business and go from being a solopreneur who's stuck to being an entrepreneur who's achieving greatness and ultimately maximizing their impact and making a huge difference in the world. And it's something that has been my passion for a long time. And I'm going to take you back to why this is important and what it is that it does do, and hopefully give you guys some insights along the way as well. Because as we know, being an entrepreneur is not easy. It's one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. It is the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life, especially going through those challenging times and facing problems that we didn't know would happen and coming up with a solution. And sometimes it gets a little dicey, and know that we're not alone in this mission. And more than 90% of business owners are finding cash on a weekly basis to make payroll. And it's tough. It's a tough space. But if we're doing it for the right reasons and it's aligned with our values and we have a vision of purpose and it's fulfilling our why, there's nothing I would rather do than fulfill my obligations to be a wealthy entrepreneur. Before I jump in too deep and start getting all emotional as to the entrepreneurial journey that we all go on, I just want to remind you that this is the Wealthy Entrepreneur Podcast. This is the place where we dissect the elements that contribute to entrepreneurial success, from mindset and leadership to profits and revenue. And this episode is going to be called The Wealthy Entrepreneur Relaunch. Now, a few years ago, we wrote a book. I wrote a book. I say we because everything I say, we do it as a team, but I actually wrote this book, and it was one of the hardest things. I don't know if any of you have tried to write a book. I've got lots of advice and guidance for writing a book. First, it starts with don't do it. I shouldn't say that. It's just really, really hard. It's time consuming. And you know what? I'm a decent writer. I can write. I'm constantly writing emails. I'm writing articles for Forbes and Entrepreneur Magazine. But writing is hard, especially when you're thinking about writing a book that's hundreds of pages of long. And so anyway, I got convinced, and it was the right decision to do, but I got convinced that writing a book was the next level for us. I started my business back in 2008. We've gone from 0 people up to 110 people now. And we work with thousands of business owners and entrepreneurs across North America. And for me, it was, how do I continue to help more and more people? Because, for me, my vision that really drives me, my purpose, is that entrepreneurs are, one, they're magical people. Are there some bad apples out there? Sure, they make us look bad, all of us as business owners. But, for the most part, entrepreneurs are out there solving problems that the world needs us to solve. They're coming up with a solution to a challenge that exists. And that's when, the most successful people are those that are creating, more important problems. Think of Elon Musk, for example, who essentially created the way to mass supply electric vehicles to the world. Like, that's a huge challenge. Thinking of Steve Jobs with Apple, not only making the Apple Macintosh computer, but having a computer on your phone in your pocket, completely transforming the way that we communicate with each other. That's solving a problem that existed, the ease of communication and getting access to things and being able to respond on a timely basis. Solving major problems comes with the opportunity to be very successful. So I do feel, entrepreneurs, we're out there, we're making a difference, we're changing the world in so many ways. And you might say, well, Bob, you're an accountant. How are you doing that? Well, I'm empowering entrepreneurs to be more financially successful, make informed decisions so that what they're doing can have a greater impact. So I'm supporting that community and that global initiative to making positive change in the world. And that's exciting, right? So for me, I'm excited. I'm driven to help support entrepreneurs. So when I wrote this book, my intention was that I could give it away. And it's funny because we talk about this quite a bit when people ask, how was writing a book? It's like, it was hard. Do you sell a lot of books? I'm like, it was never written to sell a lot of books. Now, we sell books. There's no question in there. In fact, we seem to be ordering thousands of books, every quarter, but we don't sell them. We give them away. And the reason we give them away, and this is the reason, the mission, the vision for me writing this book, was getting ease of access to good frameworks for entrepreneurs to have access to so that they can make positive change, right? Giving insights to entrepreneurs to be able to use it as a foundation or a first step towards achieving success. And, the book, the idea of the book, and we've given away hundreds of thousands of copies of this book, whether it's digital or in person or a manual book at this point, which we give out at events and whatnot when we go. But we've hundreds of thousands of books. And, the challenge is that it's only as valuable as the people who use that information to make a positive change. And I love that we have the book because it does help people and it's free access to good information. And again, back to the wealthy entrepreneur, this was my objective, was to be able to help and support as many people as I possibly could, which I think is a really important vision for me. And it's something that I'm continue to be passionate about every day. And it drives me to continue to come into work every day and continue to push hard and build a team and help more people. And so when we launched this book, the idea that this was going to be a framework so that if people wanted to do it on their own, they could read the book, they could implement the systems, the tools, there's downloads, there's frameworks, there's documents in there. It's all there. It's all good. But it's a self-study, right? Reading a book is self-study. I read a lot of books. I like to say that I implement a lot, but I really don't implement near as much as I should. But I'm always looking for another good idea. One of my favorite books that I've read is related to client satisfaction, which is Never Lose a Customer Again. And, I've read it 5 times now. And in fact, we're getting the author, Joey Coleman. He'll be on the podcast coming up in the next couple months here to talk about that and Never Lose an Employee Again, which is his second book. He's one of my favorite writers. And ultimately, we use that to implement piece by piece. But here's what I did. About 6 months ago, I called Joey and he and I got on a call and we just had too many things going on and initiatives going on. But I said to Joey, how can I get this book fully implemented? And he's like, we'll hire our team. We'll come in and fully implement the Never Lose a Customer Again. And I should have at the time. And I likely will, although we've already started our own self-implementation at this point because I've got 110 people and I can do that. But when we think of the wealthy entrepreneur, those frameworks, you got one person, you're doing it yourself. The wealthy entrepreneur program was the follow-up to that to say, okay, if you don't want to do it yourself and you want it to be done with you and you want guidance and support along the way, and in fact, maybe have a community of fellow entrepreneurs who are also not just going through the program, but also being CEOs and learning how to grow a company, doing that and having accountability with a group and support of a group is maybe a really exciting initiative. So that's where we first launched our programs called the $1 Million Year. And ultimately our objective was to get business owners to making $1 million a year. And again, that was our Wealthy Entrepreneur book framework. We were using that in the $1 Million Year program. What happened was we built this program out. We have fantastic members. I think we had 80-ish members that were continuously there, so many of them every month on the calls, on the trainings. But we were overwhelming people with the amount of information and trainings because I just wanted to continue to add more value, add more value, which is wonderful in concept, but it's overwhelming for the members. So we had to pull it back a little bit, restructure it, bring back a new format, bring in other team members and coaches to support people along their journey, and then relaunch it. So we just relaunched the Wealthy Entrepreneur program, which has a foundational program in it called Profit Simple. And it's really meant to make profit simple. And the idea is going through this initial platform, the pre-recorded videos, worksheets that essentially allow you to identify where your business is at, build out your goals, build out the map, build out the roadmap, understand how your business, how the financial model of your business works right now, and understand what it is that you need to do to use your financial model to accomplish those goals and all the steps that you need to take in order to get there. And we build that out together. We build that out together in this framework. And again, it's me, so you're stuck with me. But going through these videos and sharing these with you, and then you've got coaches in a community that are here going through these implementation parts together. And that's just the foundation, right? So once we build out the goals, it essentially allows you to eliminate just being part of the daily grind. Going from confusion to clarity is what this intention is, right? So being confused, not knowing, running aimlessly, not having direction, and then getting a vision, understanding exactly what your goals are, mapping out how to achieve them, and then staying on track to that. That's essentially the first part. And then the second part is the community of coaches and accountability partners. Every week there's an accountability meeting that we make sure that everybody is doing what they said they were going to do and is staying on track and supporting not only the individual members of our community, but also each other, the other members that are in there as well. There's also an exciting part that we have in there too, where I essentially come in and we do a CEO call. What are the challenges you're facing as being a leader, a CEO, running a business? Let's talk about those. I guarantee you, I've got 110 employees. I've seen it. I work with 2,500 entrepreneurs across North America. They've seen it. I've seen how they've dealt with it, how they've addressed it, how they've resolved it. So it's let's come in and let's solve problems together as being CEOs, and let's help support each other become world-class CEOs. From someone who's built a multi-8-figure business with 110 employees and one of the fastest growing sustainable companies in the country, we've got a good foundation here of what we've learned and where we failed and how to get around those things. So that's really, really exciting. The second sort of component. So we talked about Profit Simple. I added maybe something a little early, talked about the CEO calls and the accountability calls. But then, the second sort of step on the roadmap is going from stuck to being a strategic leader and becoming a purposeful CEO. So understanding how to become a leader, how to delegate, how to empower a team, how to guide your business with purpose, how to share the vision and get people rallied behind you. Again, you're only going to be a leader if people are willing to follow. So that's a second sort of component where if you're struggling with leadership and vision, understanding exactly what you need to do in order to be that purpose-filled leader. And it does help, having other CEOs in there and learning from each other as well. Third sort of step in our roadmap is scalable systems. So going from chaos to consistency. I got to tell you, we built my company up to about 55 people. And at that point, we made an acquisition. We added 30 more people. So we went from 55 to 85 people overnight, very quickly. And at 55 people in my business, I should have had an accountability system in place that has a few intentions, right? One, everybody within the organization knows what their role is. It's well defined. They understand how their contributions help the organization be successful. And then they have a list of accountability items that they're responsible for on a weekly basis. And they know what their goals are and how they need to accomplish them. And so this is really the foundation of an accountability system. I got to 55. I was so involved with the business. I was still doing a lot of the work that I could still put people on my shoulders and I could carry them across the finish line. And it was great and all, so super supportive, involved, hold your hand CEO, which was great right until we went from 55 to 80 or 85. And without an accountability system in place, I couldn't keep track of 85 people and 30 of them were remote. It became really challenging. So we lost our course a little bit. People were falling short of their goals because they weren't very clear on their goals. So, understanding how to go from chaos to consistency and having an accountability system in place is going to be so important if you're going from solopreneur, which again, this is what this program is, going from solopreneur to building a business with a team, with an accountability system, with goal setting and a map in place and understanding your financial metrics to be successful, having those systems and the accountability in place is going to be so very important. So really understanding how to create processes, accountability structures, and a framework for scaling sustainably, ensuring business runs smoothly and remains profitable as it grows. And so important, right? So wealthyentrepreneur.co is where you can find out more information. But I got to tell you, of all the amazing things that I feel like we've been able to accomplish since 2008 when we started this business, this is maybe the most meaningful element of my business where, when we talk to business owners and they ask, what more proactive solutions can we have? How can you help us more? And we have so many solutions in our business that we can offer, but really this is for the CEO. This is for helping understand how you can grow a successful business in a very meaningful way, how you become, financially successful, become a stronger leader, build that accountability system, and then build that business that creates value at the end of the day. This is something that they don't teach in school. They teach the elements of this is how you have to understand your finances. Here's the theory of leadership. Here's HR practices. But, when you become an entrepreneur, nobody's taught you this is how you run a business. This is how you make your business successful. You start out being an artist or someone who's passionate about delivering something and with a skill set that you're good at, but you don't necessarily know how to build a team or run a business. This is what the Wealthy Entrepreneur is meant to do. It's to help support you on that journey to get you results and success faster, and also build a business that you can exit from and build a legacy and maximize your impact for those you support, and ultimately create financial freedom in your life and your family's life so that you can enjoy every moment of that in a wonderful way. I would love to welcome you to join our Wealthy Entrepreneur program. Check out wealthyentrepreneur.co. Set yourself up. When you go on there, it'll show a bunch of information that I've just sort of shared with you about what the Wealthy Entrepreneur program is and how it supports you. Again, going from a solopreneur to building a multi-million-dollar business that's got a team that's sustainable, that you can exit and make money off of, which is important. In there, it will show you lots of resources that are available to you. Book yourself a call. There's no obligation. Book yourself a strategy call. Talk with one of our team members. Talk about how, this program works and some of the tools and skills that we're able to teach and share. Again, I've built a multi 8-figure business, and we're heading towards $100 million in revenue a year. I've built this. I've hired coaches, some of the best coaches in the world over the last 15 years, bringing in insights and how they've impacted our business, what's worked, what hasn't worked. We've got a lot. We've got 110 team members that are helping support businesses in so many ways. We've got their insights and guidance in there as well. This is a program that is set up to help you achieve success. We're working hand in hand with you to build out your business, build out your goals, build out your systems, build out your team, become a better leader, and understand how you can exit successfully by building a business that's got real value. Honestly, this program is world class. There's lots of coaching programs that are out there that focus on sales. Sales will not solve all problems. Sales will not help you build a team. Sales will help you do more work and work harder, work more hours, because you've got to fulfill on those obligations. It doesn't teach you how to be a leader. It doesn't teach you financial responsibility. It doesn't teach you how to build a team. It doesn't teach you how to build a business that you can exit from. All of these components need to come together in order for you to create and become a wealthy entrepreneur. And we've got this here for you. And I'm so excited about the impact that I know this program is going to have. We've just launched it, a few weeks ago. We haven't even got it out into the market fully yet, just inviting some of our clients in there. We've already got 50 or 60 members who are part of this. And I can tell you it's going to continue to evolve. We're going to have mastermind conversations with different levels of entrepreneurs who are going through different struggles and different functions of their business, maybe marketing, maybe finance. Maybe they're at different levels. Maybe they're at 1 million, maybe they're at 10 million, maybe they're at 100 million. We're going to continue to build this out so that we can focus on supporting entrepreneurs along their journey. And I'm so excited. The impact that is happening within this program, the emotions that it creates when people come in and they realize success. I'm seeing from some of the people that we've worked with, profitability double, watching cash flow double, cash in bank accounts going up by almost 100% from before they started the program. Lots of success that happens when we when we have a structured way of going from solopreneur to building a business that's meaningful and financially successful. Let's eliminate some of the stress of trying to figure it out myself, yourself. I did it. There's a better way. And I hired coaches all the way along my journey and trying to figure out all of these different areas. And I did it. But you know what? I want you to do it better. I mentioned a few times that our team has been on the fastest growing companies list. You know what's more important? And that obviously isn't that important to me, although I think it does demonstrate that our programs do work, and it demonstrates to our talent who want to work with us that we do have success and it's being recognized externally. But you know what's more important than us being on that list is that I have multiple clients who are on that list. I have a dozen of our clients that work with us, at least a dozen, that are already on that program as a fastest growing company in our country as well. And how much more powerful and impactful can I share that this program is than by sharing with you that it helps individuals and business owners get there themselves. So check it out, wealthyentrepreneur.co. Hopefully I've shared some insights in here too about some of the foundational elements that you're going to need to attain as you're going along your wealthy entrepreneur journey or on your entrepreneurial journey, right? If you don't want to be wealthy on your journey, that's okay. It is something that you need to focus on though. You do need financial sustainability and success if you want to reinvest and help the most amount of people. So when people say impact is the most important, I say, great, you want to maximize your impact, maximize your financial performance first, reinvest everything and go after maximizing your impact. I am totally cool with that, but let's do it in a sustainable way, because if you get cut short, instead of having a long-term legacy built business that maybe runs without you, we're not going to maximize our impact. So let's do that together. Let's come into our program. We'll do it together, arm in arm. And that is the power of the community that we're building. Anyway, check out wealthyentrepreneur.co. Super excited to have you jump in there. Again, get a call in there. See if it's the right fit for you. See if, it's the right timing, it's the right opportunity. Get in, plug into the community, and then we get you a financial scorecard to know exactly how your business is performing at all times. I will leave it there. If you know an entrepreneur who you think would benefit from being part of this community and growing together, who's stressed and overwhelmed, who needs the support of someone who's been there and a team that's been there and other entrepreneurs who've been there to support and guide them towards success, make sure that you're sharing out this link, share out this video, right? In some of the key elements of what you need if you want to be a successful CEO and a wealthy entrepreneur. If you've liked what I've shared today, hit follow. We've got another episode coming out next week. Super excited to have you here and to hear that. And if, again, there's any way that we can support another entrepreneur, share this information with them. We're here to help people succeed. That's my mission. That's my vision. And that's the thing that's really driving me every day to be part of building something much bigger than me. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening to me share about our new launch program, because I am thrilled. And like I mentioned before, the impact that I know this program is going to have, it's going to change thousands, if not millions of people's lives along the way. So check it out. Feel free to join us. I would love to have you in there. And let's make some massive impact and change the world together. My name is Bob Gauvreau. I've been your host today. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again next week.